my viewer. Thank you for being here. This is Pastor Anne Emma Channel, a platform whereby we listen to the Word of God and it teaches us, it gives us knowledge, and it also gives us a lot of spiritual wisdom. And before I continue, I would just want to ask you, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I urge you to subscribe and also to remember to turn on the notification bell right on your screen so that anytime I release a video, you are going to get it. You will be able to be notified and it will be a blessing to you. To my subscribers, may God bless you. Let us keep going. So today, I'm coming with a topic about relationships. And in this particular topic, I'm talking about how to behave, how we are supposed to carry ourselves out once we visit other people's houses. There are do's and don'ts once you go visiting other people's homes or houses. I know you feel so free, maybe in your own house, maybe with your siblings, maybe at your home where you have been, where you come from. You may feel a lot of freedom. But when you are visiting a person that maybe you are not familiar with, or even just a friend, there are do's and don'ts. And today I want to talk about that. Why? Because there are people that God brings into our lives to open doors for us, and even some of them are destiny helpers and destiny connectors, and we go losing the opportunities. Why? Because we did not know how to behave in their presence. We did not know how to be disciplined. We did not put demarcations and boundaries. In your own house, you have all the freedom to do maybe whatever you want, but it's not so in somebody else's house. So don't go visiting and you become an offense to somebody. There are people that I have heard say, Pastor, pray for me because there is a spirit of rejection in my life. There is a generational curse that needs to be broken in my life because I'm not progressing and I don't have favor with people. It's like doors just shut for me. And at times, once you look into the issue, you realize that this person is not bound by any demon. This person is not having any generational curse. This person is not having the spirit of rejection. This person does not just know how to behave around people. This person is not just disciplined. This person does not have wisdom and the knowledge on how to behave and to shape their character in the presence of other people. They don't know how to display themselves in an acceptable way. So they end up becoming offenses to these people. So once you visit a person and you become a stumbling block, you become an offense, do you think they are going to like you around themselves anymore? They won't. So that's how you shut your doors. And I have said some of these people, God brings them our way. To do what? To open destinational destiny doors for us. They are our destiny helpers. They are our destiny connectors. But we go without realizing that. So I want to talk about that because that is very important. Knowing the do's and the don'ts on when we visit other people. Knowing how to act, how to carry ourselves out when we visit other people. So there are things that you do in your own house. There are things that you don't do in other people's houses, especially when you are not familiar with them. And the number one of those things that you should not do, when you visit somebody's house, please wait for them to show you where to sit. It may not look like it's a heavy one, but when you just visit another person's house, especially when you are not close to each other, when you are not familiar with each other, don't just assume that you are supposed to sit anywhere. Do you know why? In some families and in some houses, there are some particular seats for some particular family members. A certain seat for the father, a certain seat for the mother, a certain seat maybe for a certain child. So once you go sitting anywhere, maybe you go and sit on the father's seat, the host, if it's a family, if this is in a family setting, they will feel offended. You will look like you are not disciplined. And that's how you start losing favor with that person. So they just wonder, how come this person is just sitting anywhere? They didn't even wait for me to show them where to sit. So once you enter somebody's house and you have greeted them, you are right inside at the door. Please don't just assume anything and sit anywhere and throw yourself on any seat. Don't do that. Wait for them to show you where to sit. So it goes well that way. So another thing, number 2, of something that you should not do once you visit people's houses, don't talk too much. Of course, once you visit a person or a family somewhere, you will not keep quiet throughout. There will be communication, because once again you just keep quiet, you also you will be boring to them. They may not like it that way. So there will be communication of how have things been, how are you doing, and all that, what is going on in your life. No, maybe not very private things, but at least some things to discuss. How the world is going, how the country is going, a lot of things. If we are born again, we find ourselves talking many things also about the things going on in the church, the things going on in a ministry, how to shepherd the people of God, to encourage each other in this spiritual journey. So once you visit somebody's house, of course you expect communication. And in this communication, know how to do it. Don't talk too much. Whatever content you are discussing, whatever topic you are discussing, whatever you are saying, whatever communication is all about, limit your talking. Don't talk too much, especially when this is not a familiar person with you. I've seen some people who have visited people, and it is just the first time you have met this person, and you talk too much without control. So what happens? This person will start repelling you. They will start rejecting you in their heart. They don't want you around themselves. And I'm telling you, if you behave that way, if you behave like you are talking too much, you are uncontrollable, you are not even giving them time to talk. You know, there are people who don't even give people to talk. To give other people chances to talk. It is like they are alpha and omega. They are just talking. It's all about themselves. So that is a put off, my friend. So once you visit somebody's house, limit your talking. Don't talk too much. Talk with a lot of wisdom. Talk with a lot of wisdom. And also, give them time to talk. Let it not be that you are the only one who's talking. Allow the other person also to talk. Don't steal the show. You will look like you are controlling if you are the only one who's talking. You will look indisciplined. And what will happen? They are going to repel you. Maybe that person was brought into your life by God to open a door for you in life. But you just close it that way. I have seen people that have just shut down their doors by the way they talk. There are people that have just not wanted around me. Not in a bad way. I don't hate them. But once they come near me, the way they will talk, I will not even do whatever I'm supposed to do. And some of the things they are talking, they are irrelevant things. So I'll have to use a lot of wisdom to make them come to an end of what they are saying, or just to cut short what they are saying, but in a wise way. But I don't want them many times around me. At times I will try to teach them, but they'll not hear. Remember, I'm a pastor, so I deal with different kinds of people, and I deal with many people from a lot of backgrounds, people of different characters, people of different personalities. So I'm only sharing wisdom with you. that don't steal the show, especially when you are new to a person. Whether it is in your house you have visited them or even out there, limit your words. Another thing, okay, be a good listener, and also choose the topics that you will speak or talk about, and also choose the stories that you are going to share. You know, another time we went for a conference somewhere, and there was a person in our midst, and I remember it was on a Sunday. We were just taking breakfast, and we were just going to start the Sunday service, and after that a conference was following later in the afternoon. We had a conference the whole week. And the one thing that I did not like about this person is the way he could talk throughout every time we gathered, maybe for a meal, as servants of God. This person would just talk until everyone could just run away from this particular person. Nobody wanted to stay next to him. And there was this particular Sunday morning, so we were having breakfast together so that we could proceed to the Sunday service and later have another meeting. So at the table, this person started to talk. And he started talking. And the story that he was sharing is about how he had spent his night. And he said that it's like he had eaten something or some meat that did not go very well with his stomach. Remember, we are having breakfast, and this person started to describe and to talk about everything so openly and in a very detailed way, the way their stomach ran throughout the night, and they could talk of the diarrhea and how, I am telling you, I don't even want to get into details. The way he described things and whatever was coming out of his stomach, I'm telling you, it was bad. I'm sorry if you're there and maybe you are eating. It's yucky anyway, it's not good. So, choose your stories wisely. This guy was not wise. And actually that made people repel him. The way people are, the way people are folding their faces, the way the body language went with many people, and he was just a put off. He was just a put off. And in fact, I can remember after some time he was not invited to the meeting anymore because of his behavior. He was a good brother in the Lord. He loved the Lord. He was properly saved, on his way to heaven and to eternity, but only that problem, talking too much and not knowing how to talk in the presence of people. He did not know the things that he should keep for himself or keep to himself, and the things to talk in public, especially when people are eating. Choose your stories and your topics wisely. Don't come to talk about the toilet issues. Don't come to talk about the way you puked when people are eating. Just apply wisdom. Just apply wisdom. So that is number 3. We have said number 1, don't just sit anywhere. Wait for your host to show you where to sit. Number 2, I have said, control your talking. Don't talk too much. And number 3, I have said, be a good listener. Be a good listener. Don't be Alpha and Omega. Other people also want to talk. And once you display a picture like it is only you who's talking, it's only you who knows everything, that is a put off. And that relationship is going to die. And I have said number 3, choose your topics well. I have explained that. And now I want to move to number 5. So, when you visit a person's house or their home, please don't move around the house unless your host wants to show you around. Don't go moving here and there. Just sit where you are shown to sit. Take your position there and be composed, and just talk in a dignity way. And that is going to earn you respect. And that relationship is going to continue. So don't go entering, people's bedrooms. Don't just go entering the kitchen when you are not welcome, unless your host asks you to come and join them in the in the kitchen. Maybe they want you to help somewhere. Especially when you are not very close to this person. Especially when you are not familiar with the person. Just sit where you were shown to sit. I have seen people who have visited others, and you find them all over in the kitchen, and it is even the first time. Who gave you that freedom? You're becoming an offense. The host will just wait for you to go, and they will cancel everything about you, because you show that you do not have discipline. I've seen people who have visited others, and you can imagine, they just get into the bedroom. You are a stranger, and you're entering somebody's bedroom. I've seen people who have come to my house, and they enter everywhere. I feel very, very uneasy. I've even seen a person who has come to enter my bedroom. It was a lady anyway. I would not allow a man. But it was hard for me. It's like I wanted to tell her, please keep off my bedroom. But again, I said, well, what is she going to think about me? She may think that I'm being too harsh to her. So I just waited. But I'm telling you, after that, well, I was a bit careful of what she was coming to do. And I just let her get out of the bedroom. But after that, because of some other things also she did in my house, I felt like I did not want her in my house again. So that happens, and that is very, very wrong. So that is how you shut your doors. That's how you destroy your relationships with people. So once you visit people's houses, please keep to the area or to the place where you are shown to stay or to sit. Don't move around. Don't give yourself that freedom unless your host asks you to do that. Or unless maybe it is in a house whereby you are familiar with the person. Maybe it's your sibling and they have no problem with you about moving around. That is okay. But when it is a stranger, when it is a person that you are not close with, restrain yourself and restrict yourself to the area where you are shown to take your position. Another issue, don't go picking food around and eating unless your host allows you to do that. There are people who are indisciplined. They visit a house and they go to the kitchen, or maybe they see a shelf somewhere where there are snacks or fruits or food that is just packed there, and they go pick it and they start eating, even without asking the host if they can have it. And why should you even do that? Why should you even ask your host? The host knows that at least they're supposed to serve you with something, with a drink, with some food. Unless they are too mean. If anyone comes to your house, of course, give them something to eat. But just wait. Don't go picking food for yourself. Don't go picking things, foodstuffs, and eating in other people's houses. I'm talking about this because I have seen it happen. One day, a friend of mine, and unfortunately now he's late, was a friend of mine, was a good brother in the Lord. We did ministry together in many places. He was just a calm brother, but he lacked wisdom. I'm sorry, now he has rested in the Lord. But I remember one time he called me and he asked me to go and join him as we were going for a certain mission. And I went and we met somewhere. And on the way, as we were going, he told me, okay, let us first pass through this home of my friends, and we just say hi to them, because it has been quite a long time, quite some time before I have visited them, and it's not good because they are my friends. So I usually come here, but I have taken some time. Since we are just around, the area, let us just enter and say hi to them, and then we proceed to the meeting where we are going. And so I said, okay, it's fine. So we entered, and wow, the body language that I saw with the members of that family, it was not good. I thank God because he has blessed me with some bit of psychology. I will learn a lot out of just looking at a person or just the body language. It will say a lot about the person. So I was observing. And the one who came to open the door for us was, I think, one of the daughters of that family. And she came and opened the door, and her face was not happy. I noticed that. She went back and we went in. So in the living room, there was the mother, and there were some other family members. And instead of them being happy that they had seen this brother who had really longed to see them, they all went pale. They were not happy about his presence. And I wondered why. And I was thinking within myself, I was just quiet observing everything. And I was just saying, how I wish I didn't even come, or maybe just went to wherever we were supposed to go. Well, within a short time, I saw the brother rise up, and just on his own, without anyone welcoming him or telling him anything, he just went straight away to the kitchen. And I saw him coming back, and he was carrying, a thermos with some tea, and he was also carrying some bread, and he also went back and he took some margarine and some zester, and he took some cups, 2 cups, one for me and one for himself, and he started serving the tea. And the whole house was just looking at him like, what are you doing in our house? None of them could talk, but I'm telling you, they were saying a lot within themselves. They were saying a lot within themselves, negative things, They were looking angry, they were looking pale, they were sulky about everything. They just hated it. And none of them was talking. They were just watching him. And because I was also hungry those days, it is those days, when we used to do a lot, yet the earnings were very little. So we survived a lot. So there was very little money that we were depending on, yet we could do a lot. So I did not refuse, because I think I had not even taken a good breakfast. So I proceeded and I started taking my tea with the bread. Oh, yes. And we finished and we left. So all through, these family members were not talking to this guy. And I could just see how offended they were at his behavior. Well, it was also offensive somehow to me. I didn't like it at all. But, well, I took the cup of tea he served me, because I knew that the journey was long ahead of us in that day. We were going to do a lot and we didn't even have money for lunch. But how I wish this brother had at least talked to one of the family members, asking for maybe tea, or just at least to wait and see if they were ready to serve us with something. At times when you see somebody is not serving you with something to take, and you're really feeling hungry, and maybe you don't have money to go out and buy yourself something, it is maybe at times good to ask the person, please, can I have this, or would you just serve me with something that I can be able to eat? But this brother did not do that. He just went straight away to the kitchen by himself. He came with everything and started serving, and there we were. Anyway, as we were leaving, we said goodbye to them, but I could tell those people did not want us in that house anymore. And I thank God, because I did not even have an opportunity to go back to that house. So that was a lesson. That was a lesson. So it is bad. It is indiscipline just to get into people's houses and go straight away to the kitchen, or maybe on the shelf there you are seeing something to eat and you start picking for yourself and serving yourself. It is indiscipline that will cut ties with those people. That will destroy your relationship with those people. Those people will reject you. Those people will repel you. Even if they wanted to do something that was commanded by God, they will just feel, no, this person, we don't want him. We don't want him. So at times, that's how we close doors for ourselves to our blessings. So discipline is very, very important. So another thing that we should not do. And now, this point I'm talking about to the issue of, when we come to the table to be served with food. So there are don'ts that we should not do. And one of these things that we should not do when we come to the table to be served with food in somebody's house is that don't heap up your plate with food. Don't make a big heap on your plate. There is always a second helping. Just put a portion, show some table manners, some table etiquette. Don't allow these people to despise you or to disregard you because of the way you behave at the table. So don't heap up your plate, just at a go. Do a helping or a portion. If you are not full, you will have a second one. That is how we do things. So don't heap up your plate until it looks like a mountain. That is wrong. That is being, having lack of good manners at the table. So another thing, only put in your plate only what you can be able to finish. Or if your host is serving you, show them the kind of amount that is enough for you. Just guide them. Tell them, don't put this for me. Don't put that for me. I don't eat this. Or maybe put only this portion for me. Otherwise, I'm going to leave the food on the plate and it's a waste. And if you're serving yourself, make sure that you don't put a big portion and you are not able to finish it, so you leave it on the plate. It is bad. It's a waste. It may not be pleasing to your host because you are wasting, and you have wasted his food, which is bought with some money that is being wasteful. So just put in your plate what you can be able to eat. Another thing, what you can be able to finish. Another thing, don't lick your fingers. And this is a big problem with many of the adults. There are so many adults who lick their fingers when eating, and it is bad behavior. It's a put off. It's an offense, actually. I have seen it. And this video is not for children. I'm talking to adults. Why am I talking to adults? Because these are the things that I have observed. And at times I have just said to myself, oh my, how I wish I could have an opportunity to guide this person so that they may not offend the people around them and they just destroy this relationship. So I have seen adults who just lick their fingers when eating. It is bad manners. It is bad and it is wrong. And another thing, if there is meat in your food, and maybe you happen to have a bone with some meat, just make sure that you devour or you eat the meat and just leave the bone. And I have seen some people who do not even touch that bone together with its meat, But if you want to eat the meat that is on the bone, make sure you just do it to some extent. Don't wrestle with the bone. Wrestling with the bone, it's a bad picture. So it will be like, it is bad, a lack of manners. It is bad table manners. So don't wrestle with the bone. I have seen people who have gone to an extent of even trying to chew the bone. And especially when it is chicken meat on the plate. I have seen how some people crush those bones, especially when it is a soft kind of, piece of meat, with the soft bones. Somebody will just chew the bones, which is not actually a good picture. Maybe in your house, if you want to do that, you can do that. But when it comes to other people out there, I'm telling you, you may become an offense. And they may say, this person is indisciplined. Maybe they even wanted to offer you a job. Maybe they even wanted to refer you to another friend somewhere, or even to a job somewhere else, or even maybe to a company somewhere. And maybe you are supposed to go and work in the kitchen, and they are just wondering, oh, this person, the way they can do things, the way they are just imbalanced when it comes to their behavior, the table manners. They wanted to recommend you to a certain office, but they say, if this is the way they can behave at the table or in the house, how about in the office? I don't trust them. And you just become an offense to that person. So mind your behavior once you visit other people's houses. I also observe that a lot. And I'm sorry to say that before I knew these things, there is also a time I used to, wrestle with those bones, and wrestle with those, chicken bones, because they are soft to chew. I did that at one point. I remember one time we visited a woman who was just a friend of ours, somewhere in a good estate in Nairobi, and she prepared chicken for us. We were two of us, somebody else who was close to me, and when we were eating, I had not eaten chicken for a long time because I was going through a hard time. And this was just an opportunity. So I took the chicken, and I was not leaving aside the bones. And I can remember the way that lady looked at me. The way she looked at me, it taught me a lesson. And I said, never again. And I will use this to teach somebody else. And here I am, teaching you also. Maybe you do that. Please stop it. It is bad table etiquette. It is lack of table manners. Don't do that in somebody's house because of how they are going to take the picture of that. How they are going, the perception they are going to have about you. They will despise you. They may cut relationships forever. So, another thing that you should not do, don't use your hands to clean yourself at the table. At times we eat and maybe there is some food that is spilling somewhere, or maybe some soup that has spilled somewhere, maybe on your clothes somewhere, and you just do it with your hand. No, just take a serviette and clean that particular place. Your lips, the area around your mouth, maybe it's having some food stuck or maybe some soup. Just use a serviette and just clean yourself. Some people don't do that. And don't lick your lips. There are people who also lick their lips, and people are just left wondering, oh, now, what kind of a person is this? It's lack of self-discipline. So observe that. So use a serviette also. Use a serviette to clean yourself. And another thing that you should not do, don't stretch over your hand to reach out for something, to reach out for something. Maybe you want the salt shaker that is on the other side. Just ask that person next there or your host, please help me with that salt shaker. Maybe you want some toothpick that is on the other side. Don't stretch your hand over the dishes, over the plates, over the food in the dishes, trying to reach out for that salt shaker. Just ask the person who's near that thing, please, would you help me with that salt shaker? Would you please help me with those serviettes? Would you please help me with that toothpick? And by doing so, those people are going to respect you. The way we handle ourselves in the presence of people keep on observing us if you don't know that. People, especially when we are new to people, they want to know who we are. They don't know you, so they are observing you. How do you do things? So just the way you behave at the table will make a person offer you a job, recommend you to somebody else for a job, or maybe to host you somewhere. Maybe it's in a foreign nation and you are going there for a mission for some time. They are going to recommend you somewhere. They are going to open a door for you, a lifetime door for you. But just because of what they are seeing with you, they say, oh no, this is just a no. I cannot just cope with this. How are they going to go and present themselves on the other side to the other person? I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to have character assassination. So I'm clean. I just wanted to help this person, but the way they are behaving, the picture they are portraying to me, let me just leave it alone. And that is how you lose it. So be observant. Be observant. So another thing, don't carry away food from that house unless the host is willing to let you, or them personally, they are willing to maybe pack some food and ask you to live with it. And this one is not for everybody. I know, like men, most of them, they don't want to carry food. No matter how delicious it is, they don't want to carry food on the road. They don't want to carry food from another place, or maybe from another house, from a friend's house. I have seen it. But with ladies do carry food. But don't carry food from your friend's or your host's house unless they ask you to do so. And they are the ones to pack for you. Don't go to the kitchen packing for yourself. There was a sister I related with some years back. And she was telling me that whenever she goes to a ceremony, she could carry 3 paper bags. And she was telling me she could just go, maybe if it is a public kind of a ceremony, she could just go to where the food is served or to the kitchen, and she could hand over the 3 paper bags and say, these are my 3 paper bags. Put the rice here, put the stew here, and put the chapati here. Yes. So that was her character. And when I got closer to that sister, I realized that she had so many other defects in her character and in her personality. And I knew that that would close doors for her. And surely it did. Surely it did. People could just reject her and repel her. Nobody wanted her around themselves. So everyone could run away from her. And until today, I don't know if she has changed because I have not seen her recently. I have not. But those days, until the time I saw her last, everybody was just talking bad of her and everyone was rejecting her. And then somebody will go saying, I have a spirit of rejection. There is no spirit of rejection in you. It's your character that is bad. It is your character that people cannot accommodate. So behave in a way, my friend, that people will be attracted to your behavior. Behave in a way that you will be a flavor to people. And you will have favor with people. So mind your character, mind your habits, mind your behavior in people's houses. And another thing, be friendly in your stay in that place, and also communicate. Keep the communication flowing. Don't just keep quiet and somebody's just wondering now, where did they even visit, because they are not even talking to me. I've seen people of that kind. You just visit a person and you are there for hours and hours and you are not saying a word. There is no communication. And you become so boring to the host until they wonder, why did this person even come? So keep the communication flowing and be friendly and behave in a friendly way, but put your boundaries in place. Know where not to go beyond. Set your boundaries well. Carry yourself well in that place. And another thing, if you are going to spend the night there, oh, please, your behavior should even be more better. You should really check it. Don't just throw yourself into any bed unless they tell you this is where you are supposed to sleep. And don't choose for yourself where to sleep. Like, I want to sleep in this particular bed. Let your host show you where to sleep. I have seen people of that kind. They see now the very good bed, a big bed, a beautiful one. You don't know who it belongs to in that family. And you say, this is exactly where I want to sleep. And you are shown the other bed and you are told, please sleep in that other bed. Please sleep in that other bedroom. And you are there insisting and saying, this is where I want to sleep. This is where I want to spend the night. I will roll from end to end of this bed, yet you don't know who it is preserved for. So just be disciplined. If they tell you, spend your night in this room, do that. If they show you these other washrooms, please stick to that. Don't use the other washrooms that they have not told you to use. Don't sleep in the bed where they have not told you this is where you are supposed to sleep. Don't do that. You are just going to shut your doors. Next time, they will make sure that even if you are calling and saying you want to come, they will give an excuse. You will never again be in that house. They will repel you. And another thing is, we have finished with the issue of being at the table and how to behave at the table. And now, there is another point, which is point number 9. Don't steal anything while in that house. And when leaving, please don't steal an item from that house. I have seen it happen. There are people who visit other people's houses and they steal some items, packing them in their own bag. And when you leave, the host just realizes this and that is not there, is not available. Then they start tracing. Where can it be? It was here yesterday. It was here the day before yesterday. What might have happened? And then they just realize it's so and so who carried it. It's very wrong. It's very embarrassing. It's very annoying to your host. It has happened to me many times, not once, not twice, not thrice. Some of these people could be friends, some of these people could be relatives, some of these people could be strangers. Until now, I'm even so much afraid. I may not have such a big house, but I'm afraid at times of welcoming people to my house, especially when I know that they are so free that they want to enter the kitchen because there is some cutlery that will disappear. It has happened to me. Somebody comes to you. I want to restrict them to the living room. But again, they want to be all over. They want to be in the kitchen, they want to be in the bedroom, and they go picking something without my knowledge, and they hide it. They steal something and hide it. I have seen many times. So I'm saying, if you visit somebody, unless they give you that particular thing, or if you so badly need it, maybe you can ask them, please, would it be okay if I carry this, or would you bless me, or would you give me this item because I'm in need of it? Of course, don't go asking for big items like, do I carry your fridge? Do I carry your cooker? No. But maybe for a small item that would help you somewhere, you can ask for permission to carry it. Or you can ask your host if they are comfortable with that. You can ask if they can give it to you. But don't go stealing, because this is a habit with many people. And I said this video is not for children. This video is for adults. I'm talking of things that I have seen. Until now, I'm even afraid of the people who visit me, because you are going to find somebody in the kitchen. Before you know it, something has disappeared. Somebody is just going to go to your bedroom, even without limits. In my bedroom, boy, I would never enter anyone's bedroom. I would never do that. It is bad behavior. It is bad habit. It's a put off. Before you know it, something has disappeared from the bedroom. So what I do wisely, I restrict my visitors to the sitting room, to the living room. If you come, unless you are very close to me, and unless I trust you, I will not allow you beyond my living room. I want you to remain there. Only if I trust you. If I know that you are not going to pick anything from my house, come with me to the kitchen. We can make a meal together if we are close to each other, as we talk, as we laugh. So I hope you got that. No stealing of any item when leaving that particular house. That will kill the trust with your host. That will kill the relationship. That will be the end of you with that person. Some people may not have much grace, as others do. You may not have the grace that I have. There are some people who came to my house and they stole, and you can imagine they have still come back again and again, and I have never asked them about it. It may look like they have taken advantage of me, but I have the grace to accommodate them. As a pastor, I accommodate a lot of different kinds of people. People with weaknesses of every kind. I know how to handle them. So I accommodate them, but again, I become more careful with them. So another person will not stomach that. You will just steal one small item. I'm telling you, you never step into that house again. They will never even receive your phone call. They will always say, that person stole this from my house. I have nothing to do with them. So that is how you close your own doors. I said I'm talking to adults. And I have seen adults do this and do this to me. So the last point, and I want to finish now. The last point. When you visit people's houses, always remember to say thank you to them. They have accommodated you. Even if you did not sleep over, at least you have stayed for those hours. These people have been nice to you. They have fed you, I believe. So just say thank you, even as you leave. And another thing, remember to say goodbye or to bid them farewell as you leave. Don't just sneak away and just leave. You know, I have seen that. There is a person who used to visit us somewhere many years back, and he would come and visit us. We were in a certain a family setting, so he was a relative there. And he could just come and visit us, maybe like the whole afternoon. We feed him, we have stories with him, but at times when he's leaving, he will not even say goodbye. He will just go missing, and you just realize, oh, we are not seeing this person anymore. Did he go to the washrooms? Did he go outside maybe to have some, some breath, some fresh breath from outside? Or where is he? Just to realize after some time that he's not coming back, and we just realize this person just left, and they left in a very funny way. Just left like that. So that is not very nice. That is not very kind. There is a way how to just finish things well. There is a way how to live with respect, respectively, in a disciplined way. So just say goodbye to these people and thank them that you have taken that time together with them in their house. And that is how I come to the end of this teaching. And it's also a counseling session. You have been counseled. I have said the reason why people are repelled, some of the reasons, it is not because there is a devil in their life. No, it is because of their character. So work on your character. Work on how you relate with people. Work on your personality. Don't be an offense to people. Know how to live with people. If you know how to live with people, even international doors will open for you. You can be able to live with anyone, anywhere. And I want to thank God, because as for me in my life, I have lived with many different kinds of people. I have lived with many different kinds of people. And God has given me the grace to live with them. I have talked about this and about my life and how it was since my childhood and some of the challenges that I went through. I've been invited to different social media platforms just to go and inspire people with my life story. And I have talked about at some age in life, for quite some years, I stayed with different people, strangers. I remember even a family that adopted me, and they just took me in. And I stayed with those people for some time. I was working as though I was a house girl, and I was not complaining because they were giving me accommodation and they were giving me food, and at least I was happy and I was peaceful. I was looking for peace and I was looking for happiness. That was not there in my family. So if you follow my story of childhood on the channels where I have spoken about that, and I think one day I'm going to come and inspire people with my life story. I grew up being abused. I have never known and I have not seen parental love. I have never seen that. It was just abuse, physical torture, psychological torture, emotional torture. So anywhere where I went after school, after finishing high school, and I was welcome, and I was given love, I'm telling you, I could just fit there and I could stay with those people. They could take me in, I could work for them. They are not even giving me any salary because we have not talked in terms of we are employing you as a house help. No, I'm just staying in that house. But I can tell you, there is no day I ever had a conflict with those people. Anytime I'm told to do this, I could just do. I knew the market day. So I just take my big basket and the money and a list of what I'm going to buy. I go buy, I come stock in the fridge. Remember, these are strangers, total strangers. They did not even know where I had come from. Some of them, God just connected us in a very, very strange way. I remember a day I spent the night outside, somewhere in a garage, and it was very dangerous. In the morning, I did not know where to go. With my bag of clothes, I remembered there is a church there, a Pefa church, where I used to go and do my prayers at times. And I was staying with a relative for some time. And she could not accommodate me anymore because of her two daughters that were there, and they did not want me in the house. And so I just thought, after spending the night in that garage, let me just go to that church. And once I got there, I did not even know where to spend the next night. And I looked sad, and they wanted to know my story. Where are you coming from? Early in the morning with a bag full of clothes. I looked sad and stressed. And so, even before I started talking, it was so hard for me to talk. I burst into tears and I cried. I was so much affected psychologically and emotionally. I just broke down in tears. And they listened to my story. They were so sad. They were so sad. So different people were ready to take me in as a young girl and just stay with me. And one of the families in that church, an elder in that church who had a family and a house just next to the church, just took me in. The man took me with my bag and took me to his house, introduced me to the wife. She was an older woman. And I'm telling you, I stayed with that family. There were sons in that family. And I stayed with them very well. They took me like one of them. One of the sons is still a very good friend of mine, even up to date. And he has been very helpful to me, especially those days when I was going through a very hard time. He was an encouragement to me all through. What if I did not know how to behave? Anyway, also hard times in life had also taught me how to behave. But even if you have lived a luxurious life without problems and challenges like the ones I faced, please, you can still have room to work on your character, to work on your personality. Otherwise, people will be repelling you everywhere you go. At work, people will repel you. When you go to visit people, they repel you. Family members will repel you. Friends will repel you. They will just reject you. Neighbors will reject you and repel you inside the church or in the church fellowship. They will also repel you and reject you. Why? You don't know that it's something to do with your character. So know how to live with people. Work on some of those things that I've talked about. If you know how to live with people, doors will just open for you. For me, one thing God has given me favor, especially with strangers. I have so much favor with people that I do not know. God just commands people to do things for me. God just commands people to relate with me. And God has given me a lot of wisdom that I don't know, and I don't want to hurt people. If I know that I'm going to hurt you, better you hurt me, but I won't hurt you. If I see like the relationship is not going well and it's going sour, what I do, at times I will pull myself aside. There is a lot of wisdom that God has put in me. So I know what to do, and I also know what I'm not supposed to do. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I still have room to learn some things. But at least so far, God has helped me in many, many areas. I can live with anyone in this world. I can live anywhere in this world. I know how to relate with people just by the grace of God. So I know that you have learned. Please share this video and push it to somebody else. Just share the video. Like the video. If you want to leave a comment for me, just leave a comment there for me. I'm going to see it. If you want to talk to me, my number is not hidden. Let me just know in the comment section, and we are going to talk. So may the Lord God bless you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. You will really be learning a lot. You will learn things about the Word of God. Your spirit man will be sharpened, will be taught, will be enlightened by teachings on this channel. There is my music on this channel. Please Just listen to my music. It's inspiring. I'm talking about where I have come from. I'm glorifying God for what He has done for me. I'm prophesying things. And many of those things that I prophesied to myself, they have come to become. They have become a reality. So they will inspire you. So until next time, I'm going to say, may God bless you. May God be with you. My subscribers, may God continue to walk with you. And until we meet next time, stay in Jesus Christ. And I say, peace be unto you. I wish you well in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.